Boys and girls, we are going to do something new in math, and it is called Drops in the Bucket. We've spent some time in this in the beginning of the year, and I handed out to everyone in the class a black folder with the sheets in there. I did send those home. That's the first grade math that we were reviewing from the beginning of the year. The folders that we will be working in are the orange ones, and in those orange folders are the sheets for second grade. And the reason it's called Drops in the Bucket is because it's a little bit of every math concept every day. So if we learn how to do skip counting, this is what the first sheet is. If we only do it in the beginning of the year and we never do it again, then you might forget it. So the point of doing Drops in the Bucket is so that we get a little bit of practice with all of the skills every day. So each little drop that gets added to the bucket builds up in the bucket, and eventually the bucket will be full, and you will learn all of your math concepts, and hopefully they'll be in there so you remember them to go into the next grade. So what I did was I took the actual lessons and I cut them apart to teach you each skill separately. So this one is pretty easy, and I took all of them and I cut the little strips off. So you can see strip number 1 in your orange folder, strip number 2, strip number 3. So I cut them apart, and I glued some of the strip 1s all on the same paper so that we could practice a bunch of that skill together. And then we'll move on to skill 2, 3, 4. There are actually 10 skills that we'll practice every day. So the first skill is actually skip counting, or as Mr. McLean likes to call it, multiples of. So skip counting, on this first one is counting by hundreds, and you just need to go and fill in the missing numbers. So if you start counting by hundreds, 100, 200, 300, 400, what would go there? And you would write it on the blank. 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. And that would be it for the first day. These skills on the sheets that are not cut apart, you have one strip of a skill. Then skill 2 is problem solving, word problems. Skill 3 is money, and so on. So for right now, we're just going to focus on skip counting, or multiples of. So this one starts with 300. 300, 400, 500. What comes next? 600. 500, 600, 700, 800. Good. 900, 1,000. Here's another one. And these are just section 1 from the first 5 lessons, or the first 5 sheets in your orange folder. This one starts with 200. 200. Good. 300. 400. 500. 600. 700. 800. 900. Good. This next one doesn't start with anything, but the number after it is 400. So what would come right before 400 if you were looking at multiples of 100, or counting by hundreds? If you went back 100, it would be 300. 300, 400, 500, 600. Good. 700. 800, 900. It's actually 1,000. Or 1,000, but it's 1,000. And this last row starts with 0, but we're counting by 100s. So 100, 200, what comes next? And you would put it on the blank. 300, 400, 500. What goes here? Good. 600, 700. And as you go through the sheets, go through the packet, they get a little bit more challenging. And you'll see the very next one, those were lessons 1 through 5. The very next one in your packet is lesson 6, and it's not counting by hundreds anymore. It starts at 96, 97, 98, 99. What comes next? 100. What comes next? 101, 102, 103. Good. That was skip counting.